fourth graders. I hope everybody is having a great day. Today we are talking about editing. So you're almost to that point where you're going to have a beautiful final draft of your creative writing that you've been working so hard on the last 2 weeks. This is instructional video for day 8 or mini lesson video for day 8 for editing. So on this slide, along with the video that I will put right here is, and the one I'm recording for you right now, are these two videos along the side. These are kind of goofy, but I really like them because he goes into really good detail about focusing on sentence structures. So there's one on sentence fragments, which is a really common thing for you all to do. Which is basically where you're writing sentences that aren't complete sentences, and it sounds like it might be a complete sentence, but you're missing a couple words. And a run-on sentence is the other common thing for all of you to do, and that's to write sentences that are way too long and you need to break them up into a couple sentences. So please make sure to watch these in addition to the mini lesson that I'm doing today. So let's go to the piece that we have been working on together, and we're going to do some edits here. So we have the lunchtime disaster. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to change. I don't think I did this in the video that we worked on yesterday with revisions. I decided last night as I was reading this that I didn't like disaster because I didn't really think it was a disaster. I think that's a little dramatic. I think what the guy did was a prank. So I want to change it to the lunchtime prank. So moving on, the first clue that you need to do, or the first thing you need to do when you're editing is, the nice thing about doing this in Google Docs is you will have the red squiggly lines or possibly a blue squiggly line, and those should help you out quite a bit. I don't not want to use that as a tool because some people might say, well, they need to be able to do that on their own. Well, it's a tool that you have in everyday life, honestly, most of the time. You just have to make sure you have spell check turned on. Um, so if you see a red squiggly line, and I don't know how many finished products I got in the last couple weeks of other types of writing, and there's squiggly lines all over it, and they still turned it in. Don't do that. The squiggly lines are there for a reason. So go back and look at them. So this one is not spelled right. So all you have to do is right click on it and it'll say like, did you mean? Yes, that's what I meant. If it's not what you meant, then don't choose it. Be careful doing that. So if it's a word they suggest like, did you mean this? And it doesn't look right, don't choose it. Look it up in a dictionary. Use Google to search the word, find the one that you did want as a tool. The next one that I think, yep, there was a blue squiggly line that I found last night is lunchtime allowed her to relax and really enjoy the fact that she won of the small team astronauts orbiting. So that obviously is one that I want to add. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to say one of a, oh, that's my fault. One of a, she enjoyed the fact that she one of a small team of astronauts. I don't even know if I like that. Let's read it again. So this is what a good writer does. Reread those sentences a couple times. Lunchtime allowed her to relax and really enjoy the fact that of a small team. That doesn't make any sense. Lunchtime allowed her to relax and really enjoy the fact that I would fact that she was the one of a small team astronauts orbiting the Earth, small team of astronauts. There we go. All right, let's reread it. Lunchtime allowed her to relax and really enjoy the fact that she was one of a small team of astronauts orbiting Earth in the beautiful ISS. I still don't know if I like that. Lunchtime allowed her to relax and really enjoy the fact that she one of a small team of astronauts. She was one of a small team of astronauts. We'll leave it for now. We'll come back to it. And really enjoy the fact that she was one of a small team. She was one of a small team of astronauts orbiting We're one of a small team. Yep, we'll go with that. So I didn't do all that on accident. I'm talking through it on purpose. I want you guys to really stop and think about what you're writing. That's what a good writer does. I don't know how many times whenever I'm writing things, I reread them and reread them and reread them in my head. I read them out loud. I ask somebody else to read them to make sure they make sense and that the words sound right. That's important. So make sure you're doing that. Read them out loud. Reading them in your head doesn't always bring out the mistakes. Here's the other one. Yes, I meant not to put two L's there. Um, I'm also going to make sure I go back through and take out anywhere where I had like the strike throughs. If you didn't already, I'm going to go ahead and take those out because I'm editing them. This is going to be my final product. Then flew through the bright food room. All right, so there's another one. Her favorite meal awaited her. When she arrived, she carefully took the package labeled mac and cheese. This is where I wanted to fix. I think it's important to write the full word macaroni and cheese because that's the name of the food that she's eating. So instead of writing mac and cheese, I'm going to write macaroni and cheese. I'm going to do a little trick here. I'm going to copy that because I remember I wrote macaroni and cheese in a lot of places and I don't want to have to keep rewriting it. So I just copied it. So everywhere, I'm going to go ahead and find everywhere where I wrote mac and cheese. So I'm going to come back to that page and I'm going to find everywhere I wrote mac and cheese. Let's see, where else did I write it? Pouch. Oh, here it is again. So I'm going to highlight it and then I'm going to paste the word macaroni and cheese. Let's keep looking to make sure we got all of them. Food pouch off the table and floated out of the room. Food room. Let's see, where else did I say macaroni and cheese? Oh, here it is again. So I'm going to fix that. So everywhere I made that mistake, I'm going to go back and make sure that I fix it. Here it is again. Use that word a lot, apparently. Okay. And here I just wrote macaroni, so that's fine. Macaroni and cheese, mac and cheese, mac and cheese. I'm just going to keep looking for it. That's the macaroni. I'm going to go ahead and take out this part because again I'm working towards a final draft. Oops. Here it is again. So I'm gonna fix that. Paste macaroni and cheese. All right. I think I got all of them, but I'll tell you. Oh, here's one more, I think. All right, so that was really important. So I will tell you that right now, if you discover like you spelled a name wrong or a place wrong or you didn't capitalize a proper noun, if you know it happens a lot, you copy it and then just go through your whole document and paste it in there to cover everywhere you may have. Let's see, it looks like you're getting your dinner early today. Where did we say that part? I had that written down too when I was going through last night. I guess I had this coming. Let's see. Amber handed David the open spaghetti package. So opened, it's not past tense, it's present tense. It's happening like she's handing him the open spaghetti package. So we want to use the word open instead of opened. Okay. I'm going to make sure I don't have any more squiggly lines. So I'm checking. And I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and take out all the highlighted words. I don't want anything highlighted, so I'm just going to take everything and then I'm going to do this, none, and it gets rid of all that highlighting. So now that I've done all my editing, taking care of all my squiggly lines, I'm going to go back through the entire thing and reread it. I'm not going to do that for you guys because you don't need to listen to me reread the entire story again. But just a couple tips that I'm going to leave you with here. This is a short mini lesson today. Is make sure you go through, find all the spelling errors, go through and find all the places where you might need to fix your dialogue. So that's actually something that I did not do. So let's go check our dialogue. I am so glad that I have my checklist sitting here, which you guys will find on this slide. Once I'm done with this video, you'll have a checklist that you can use for editing. So make sure you go through the checklist. So let's look for dialogue. Make sure we have our dialogue spelled or written correctly. One more turn. Got it. That's fine since there's an exclamation mark there. And every time there's a new dialogue or a new person talking, that's when you have to start a new paragraph. So that's why there's here again exclamation mark. So that's fine. She has question mark here. Amber exclaimed, that's fine. Capitalized all of their names. David, this is the one that I needed to fix. So David, she thought. So not a period. You don't need to do that. You put a comma and then she thought goes right after it. So it's comma. If it's not a question or an exclamation mark, you don't put a period unless it's the end of the sentence. But this is definitely not the end of the sentence. It's in the middle of the sentence. So this has to be the work of David. She glided through the halls of the space station. The reason I don't have to put like she said is I know it's her talking because it's in the same paragraph. But then when David said, "Hey, Amber, notice I started a new paragraph." You need to make sure you do that. When it's a new character talking, you need to start a new paragraph. So that's the other thing. Again, exclamation mark, question mark, we're good there. Was a bit cheesy than usual. Do you know anything about that? Question mark. Good. And it's inside. Notice it's inside the quotation marks. I'd like my actual macaroni and cheese, please. We know it's still Amber talking because it's in the same paragraph as her. Okay, okay. He laughed. Okay, so this is another one where I need to put a comma. Okay, okay. And then put he laughed. I knew it was David because his name's right here and it says David couldn't hide his involvement. I switched the tags on your macaroni and spaghetti. Did it surprise you? And then, oh, that's the other part that I wanted to point out. If you're a person saying more than one thing in a row, you can actually put them together. Like they're two different sentences, but you can put them both inside the quotation marks. So remember that as well. Yes, it was definitely a surprise when I looked down, saw spaghetti, and suddenly knew it was you. She laughed again. Now you're going to come with me so that I can blah blah blah. All right, that's all good. Early today. I guess I had this coming. David sighed, sat down, and began to eat his spaghetti. Okay, so we want a comma there, not a period. Oh, my bad. Okay, I'm going to be starving when I wake up tomorrow morning, he says. Okay. Oh, and we want to put a period here because that's the end of that sentence. And then when he talked again, that was a new sentence. So that was something to keep in mind. All right, and that's the end of it. So I want to remind you too, you can always go back to this slide. Let's see if we can find it here. Yep, this slide right here on day 5, back when we did day 5. So you should still have like last week's assignments in your Google Classroom, hopefully. But day 5 has the dialogue, how to punctuate dialogue correctly. So keep that in mind as well. If you want to go back and use that, you can use that as a resource. Okay, so I hope that you have fun editing. Again, remember that these 2 videos that are also on this website, or sorry, on this slide, are very useful, and I want you to watch those as well after you're done with watching this one. Keep in mind there will be a checklist right here, so use that checklist to help you make sure you went through everything that you need to go through to finish up your editing. Have fun, guys. Let me know if you need any help. Bye.